Most men out here aren't in relationships, they are in silent prisons. They think they are in love. They think they are leading, but the truth is, they have been stripped of their power piece by piece. By a woman who knows exactly how to play the game. Today, I'm exposing 5 ways women secretly control and manipulate men. Once you see these tactics for what they are, you will never fall victim again. Number 1, guilt tripping you into submission. When she can't control you with affection, when she can't bend you with tears, she will pull out guilt like a dagger. Suddenly, she will call you the bad guy for having boundaries. She will call you selfish guy for not giving her your money. She will say you are cold for not texting her all day. She flips the script and makes you feel like the villain just for putting yourself first. This tactic works on weak men because men are taught to be providers, protectors, and rescuers. Society conditions you to feel guilty if you don't give a woman everything she demands. But a man with no boundaries is a man with no respect. When she guilt trips you, she's not appealing to your love, she's appealing to your weakness. She's testing if you will crumble under emotional pressure. And the moment you give in, the moment you change your mind, because you don't want her upset, she knows she owns you. A high-value man never allows guilt to dictate his decisions. He doesn't fold under emotional blackmail. Instead, he calmly and firmly stands his ground. Why? Because he knows his worth. He knows that real loyalty and respect come when a woman accepts your standards, not when you compromise them to avoid her tantrums. The lesson is, if she has to guilt you into compliance, she doesn't respect you, she's manipulating you. Number 2, weaponizing sex and affection. This is one of the oldest tricks in the book, and one of the most dangerous forms of control a woman can use on a man. When a woman weaponizes sex and affection, she turns intimacy, which should be natural and mutual, into a bargaining chip. Suddenly, affection is not about love, not about closeness, not about desire. It becomes a tool of manipulation. You will see it in subtle ways at first. She starts withholding kisses, pulling away from hugs, or not being in the mood whenever she doesn't get her way. If you refuse to bend to her demands, she makes you feel like you don't deserve her body or her affection. And many men fall straight into this trap because they are desperate for intimacy. A woman who truly desires you will never trade her affection for compliance. She gives herself freely because she wants to, not because you followed her orders. But when she withholds intimacy to punish you, it's not about love anymore, it's about control. This tactic conditions men like Pavlov's dog. She rewards you with affection when you obey, and withholds it when you stand your ground. Over time, if you are not careful, you start chasing her validation instead of living by your principles. That's how men lose their masculine frame, by letting her turn sex into a reward system instead of a natural part of desire. A woman who truly respects you doesn't ration her affection. She multiplies it. The moment she turns intimacy into a tool of control, you are no longer in a relationship, you are in a transaction. Number 3, gaslighting you into questioning reality. One of the most dangerous games women play when they don't respect you is gaslighting, a psychological tactic that flips the script and makes you doubt your own judgment, memory, and even your sanity. Gaslighting isn't just lying. It's a deliberate manipulation designed to destabilize you and keep her in control. For example, she might blatantly flirt with another guy in front of you, and when you call her out, she will say, "You're imagining things. You're overreacting. You're insecure." Now, instead of standing firm on what you saw and felt, you are suddenly second-guessing yourself and start saying, "Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm insecure." See, that's exactly how gaslighting works. It takes your logical perception of reality and twists it until you no longer trust yourself. A woman who gaslights you doesn't want truth. She wants power. Because once you stop trusting your own mind, you start depending on her version of reality. And that dependence gives her the leverage to control you, disrespect you, and push boundaries without resistance. A woman who truly values you won't gaslight you. She won't make you feel crazy for catching her bad behavior. Gaslighting is the weapon of a woman who knows she's guilty but refuses to take accountability. Intelligent men see through it. They never debate with a gaslighter. They don't try to prove themselves right. They walk away because a man who values his sanity knows his reality is non-negotiable. Number 4, using tests to measure your obedience. A woman who doesn't respect you will constantly test you, and not in a playful way. These aren't harmless little games. These are deliberate, calculated moves designed to measure how much power she has over you, how far you are willing to bend, and how quickly you will abandon your boundaries to please her. It starts small. For example, she will ask you to cancel plans with your friends just to see if you will do it. Then it escalates. She might flirt with another guy in front of you just to watch your reaction. She will question your opinions, challenge your decisions, or push your buttons to see if you will stand firm or fold like every other man she's toyed with. These tests aren't about love, they are about control. And the moment you start jumping through her hoops to pass them, you have already lost. Once she knows you will compromise your self-respect for her approval, she loses attraction and respect for you instantly. An intelligent man sees these tests for what they are. They are traps to gauge obedience, not devotion. Instead of playing along, he stands firm. He doesn't argue, he doesn't plead, he doesn't prove himself. He lets his silence, composure, and actions show that he is a man with boundaries, and a man who cannot be manipulated. And paradoxically, it's that unshakable frame that draws genuine respect, and even admiration from her, or makes her leave if she can't control him. Either way, you win. Number 5, isolating you from your power. A manipulative woman won't just attack your confidence. She will cut you off from your sources of strength. She will subtly or overtly distance you from your friends, mentors, family, or even your career goals. Why? Because as long as you are surrounded by people and habits that remind you of your worth, she can't fully control you. She will start saying things like, "Why do you always hang out with your boys? You don't need the gym that much. You should spend that time with me. Your job takes too much of your energy. Don't you care about me?" Understand this. Isolation is one of the most powerful weapons of manipulation. Once she cuts you off from your circle, from your purpose, from the things that keep you grounded, you become easier to mold, easier to control, and easier to drain. Strong men know this truth. Your power comes from your independence, your mission, your body, your mindset, and your network of strong men around you are non-negotiables. The moment you start giving those up, just to keep the peace in a relationship, you have already handed her the keys to your kingdom. And once she has that control, respect vanishes. Because women don't respect men who abandon themselves for approval. A woman who truly values you will never pull you away from your purpose. She will support it because she understands that's what makes you the man she's drawn to in the first place. So if she's isolating you from your power, she's not building with you. She's stripping you down to control you. And a man who loses his power loses everything. Listen, the second you become aware of these tactics, they stop working on you. You reclaim your frame, you set boundaries, and you stop living for female approval. Remember, a woman can only control you if you hand her the power. Hold the frame, live for yourself, and never surrender your masculinity. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Share this with a brother who needs to hear it, because too many men are still asleep.